Today we celebrate the life of one of Africa's best, Dr. Mensa Otabil. But we must appreciate the challenges that he faced along the way, the battles that he fought. Yes, could be the attacks of the devil on him and all that we know as Pentecostals. But beyond that, in order to become what he has become, he needed to excel in dealing with the biggest battle the charismatics have, and that's the battle of the mindset. Those principalities, strongholds that we have believed over time that hold us back from becoming what God wants us to become. Some of you are at the threshold of becoming what God wants you to become, but you have failed to cross the line because of things you believe, things that constrain you, your culture, your mindset, your belief system that has been created by some people who actually love you. But those things have bound you from going to where God wants you to go. When I look at this life, I do not just celebrate that he overcame spiritual battles, but the fact that he dealt with those strongholds under which we were brought up. Dr. Mensa and myself and our colleagues in our generation, we were brought up in a time we called the holy moments, where we were not allowed to put on jeans, we were not allowed to watch television, we were not allowed to listen to the news, we were not allowed to do many things. It was a do or don't. If you're a Christian, you don't. If you're not a Christian, you do. And because of that, we constrained ourselves to certain belief systems that had nothing to do with the will of God. And those stood in the way of us becoming what God wants us to become. So I want to interrogate this. I know it's a bit controversial, but I am dealing with a man who has led this ministry through controversial means. The first time I met him, he was so controversial, I didn't know whether I did the right thing to invite him to Zambia. White people were crying in my service. Who is this that you brought? But he was determined to break certain cultural barriers, things that were not normal. And my wife 2 weeks ago confronted me and said, you know what, Nevers, now I've come to believe that people that God uses are not normal. And because if you are normal, God can't use you. It's either look at the people that he uses. There's something missing in them, like a little nut or boat has gone crazy. Those are the people God uses. Why? Because they are ready to cross the line that others are afraid of crossing. These are people that have refused to be constrained in a certain area.